BK here. I'm trying something new with this one. Instead of the time lapse that Procreate generates, I took a screen capture with my iPad. I wanted to show more of my drawing process, but it is going to zoom in and out a lot and twist around. So this is Belle. She's one of the main characters of a webcomic that I am working on called Spring on Mars. It's a lesbian romance about a race from the moon to Mars by way of Jupiter and Neptune, and I'm very excited about it. I've been working on it for a while now, and so what I wanted to do with this particular drawing was just nail down kind of the details of Belle's character design. So Belle is a shipbuilder. This is a futuristic setting, but also the whole project is largely inspired by the Great Race, which is about the automobile race from New York to Paris around the world in 1910, I think. So I didn't want any of the design to be like super crisp and Star Trek-y. It's a very sort of rustic, antique feel that I'm going for here. I'm just futzing around with her face. She's got this drunk expression. But I wasn't really worried about like her expression or her pose here because I mostly just wanted to nail down kind of the details of her clothes. I knew that I wanted to go with kind of a 1910s inspired fashion for this thing, but I'm not a great fashion person. I have a lot of Pinterest boards going on for this, but I knew that I wanted like poofy sleeves and peplums and kind of adventure gear. I knew that I wanted Belle to have these like sort of poofy pants, and what this is, you'll see later. I add another little sketch. This is actually a trouser skirt inspired by Morgan Donner's recent punk rock trouser skirt. If you've seen that video, it is extremely good. She looks like a drunk Phil and or Lil from the Rugrats, and I futz around with it, but like I said, this was not the point of this drawing. So I wanted her to have, I've done a lot of sketches of Belle, and I wanted her to have sort of a more cohesive look. I've put her in like lots of different clothes, but I wanted her to have something that I could draw over and over fairly consistently, because I'm not great at fashion, so I didn't want to have to come up with, like, there's some artists who are just like, they just put their characters in realistic clothes all the time, and they have all sorts of different outfits, and it looks great, and I am not good enough at making up clothes to do that, so I was like, she's gotta have the same outfit. So the apron is important. I wanted her to have a sturdy apron for metalworking. She does like a lot of welding and that kind of stuff. So this is heavy duty material, probably leather. You can see I'm messing around with that collar. I tried the Peter Pan collar and I didn't like it, and I don't think it was quite the period that I wanted anyway. So I've gone with this. I decided that top button is maybe a cameo or something, but I don't know if I'll ever go into enough detail for you to see what it is. She's got the visor that flips down for welding, which when I was in college, I wore glasses and I was not great with contacts. I just couldn't handle contacts. And so, when I did metal work in the sculpture building, I had a visor like that instead of the separated steampunky welding goggles. So I decided to give her that. Here you can see I am playing with the colors of her outfit, and this is gonna go through a lot. I tried a lot of things. I wanted Belle to have kind of a Disney princessy vibe, And so you can see I'm just like trying all sorts of different stuff to see what looks good. But I also wanted her to have a fairly simplified palette. And I also wanted her to be able to go, not from day to night, but when she takes off her specific work gear, the apron and the gloves and the visor, I wanted it to still be basically the same outfit, so I wanted it to work with or without the apron. And I'm really just throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall here, trying out a lot of different colors, just to see. I fairly early on, I drew her with the pink, and I really liked the pink, and I was pretty sure I was going to come back to the pink, but I didn't want to get sort of stuck on a specific color and then not explore other options. So I just wanted to try out lots of different stuff and see if there was something maybe that I liked better than what I've had in my head for a long time. But then there wasn't really. I came back to the pink. I like the pink. Yeah, I should mention I wanted to kind of show more of real time than what Procreate does, but this is sped up time. I think this is sped up 8 times this whole video, so. Oh, right. I wanted to check the saturation to see how well balanced this was in terms of lights and darks, and I was reasonably satisfied with it, I think. I don't think I come back to that. Yeah, just like adjusting her skin tone. Tried out some trim. I don't think I liked the trim. It makes her look a little bit too much like a starship captain or something, which is not what she is. Yeah, the stripes were just a little bit much. I like these stitches. These stitches are the sort of thing that, like, I put this in this drawing and it'll probably show up in very few actual shots because it's just more detail than I probably want to do. But like the little gold stitching I think is a cute detail. You can see I'm working on what does this look like without the apron. And this, I think, is actually a much cuter drawing that I don't bother to finish at all, I don't think. This is a little more her vibe. I don't know why I made her so cranky in that illustration. Although, I have been working on the first few pages of the comic, and in the first few pages she is very cranky, so maybe that was the inspiration there. Yeah, you can see, I'm like, okay. So you can see that peplum just in the corner there, under the apron. And then with the pants unfurled, they have like a, I don't know, a drawstring that cinches in at the top of her boots, but then she can unfurl them and then it just looks like a big poofy skirt, and I really like it a lot. So that is it for this video. Let me know if you like seeing all the tools and junk that I'm using, or if you're like, no, I would rather just see a much shorter, smoother Procreate time-lapse. But the first pages of Spring on Mars are going to be coming out next week? Next week, maybe. We'll see. It will be hosted on Tapas, definitely, and maybe some other hosting platforms. You can find me on Instagram at deadbirdkitsch, and I'm going to be relaunching my Patreon at the end of this month, January 2022, and I've got a lot of exciting new tiers and benefits that I hope people will be excited about. I'm also going to be uploading to YouTube every other Friday, so watch this space. Thanks for watching, and have a kitschy day.